God of War just got some exciting news. The Greek saga that introduced the world to Kratos is about to get a huge remaster. According to a recent leak, Santa Monica Studios, along with Nix's Software, are reportedly developing a remastered version of not just God of War 1, but even some of the PSP games. We also have new comments from Cory Barlog to discuss that will either crush our dreams of the remaster or fuel the hype even further. Now, the rumors of a remastered collection of the original games have been circulating for quite some time, but this latest leak suggests that fans are in for an even bigger treat. What exactly can we expect from a remastered collection, and how will it change the original games? I mean, let's be real here, guys. The OG God of War games probably wouldn't survive in today's world. Will the developers stay true to the original, or will they deviate? We have a lot to discuss, so check the video chapters for easy viewing, and let's get into it. Now, if you're like me and you own a PlayStation 5, I probably know what you're thinking, and that is, wow, yet another remaster in the works by PlayStation, but this one I'm kind of down for. Although recent trends do kind of dictate that they would probably remaster God of War 2018 or God of War Ragnarok before they do anything else. For instance, Horizon Zero Dawn is getting a remake that I don't really think we actually need, but the original God of War trilogy is one that I hold dearly, and I am totally down for a remake or remaster as long as they do it right. But before I dive into my thoughts and opinions on whether or not this remake is actually needed or if they're going to ruin it, let's go ahead and talk about the news for today. And this is according to Lunatic Ignis. They tweeted out recently, yes, the rumors are true. God of War's Greek Saga Remastered, not the actual title, is in the works at Santa Monica Studios and Nix's Software. And according to the leak, the development is finished and they're just waiting for an announcement release. It's set to release in 2025, with the announcement set for sometime between December and March. Now, Lunatic then clarified that when they say Greek Saga, they mean all of the Greek Saga, including 1 through 3, PSP games, and Ascension. Now, obviously, with this just being a rumor, we just have to kind of take it with a grain of salt, but I will say that there is some validity to it, mainly because next year is the 20th anniversary of God of War. With God of War 1 releasing March 22nd, 2005, them having a remastered collection next year actually makes a lot of sense. And that's not even to mention that the only way to play the original God of War games and the PSP games are either if you have the original devices or if you have an emulator on PC. Now, the PlayStation 5 does have cloud streaming for the original games, but overall, them getting a big remaster collection going and then releasing it on PC would be a smart move. Not to mention the recent God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok game had a bunch of hype. Like, those games were critically acclaimed and they kind of put God of War back on the map. Like, it does pain me to say this, but when people think of God of War, they think of God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok. They're not like us, and whenever we hear God of War, we think of Kratos in the Greek saga. Like, you and I right now are probably picturing Kratos fight Zeus in God of War 3. Like, that's the one that pops into my head. Like, it's still living rent free. But yeah, following the hype of God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok, it makes sense that PlayStation would want to capitalize on that. Now, in terms of all of the games that we could expect, as Lunatic Ignis said, God of War, the first one from 2005, God of War 2 from 2007, God of War 3, God of War Chains of Olympus from 2008, which that one right there is a PSP title. We would likely get God of War Ghost of Sparta from PSP, and then of course God of War Ascension. Now, what's funny is if you actually look at the history of God of War games, this isn't the first time that they've done God of War collections. Like, you and me both know, like back in the day, they had a God of War collection on PS3 in 2009. They then had the God of War Origins collection on PS3. There was the God of War Saga on PS3 as well, another God of War collection on PS Vita, and then I think they remastered God of War 3 on PS4, which I think that was 2015. So yeah, this would most likely be the final God of War collection that we get for a while. That is until they decide to remake the games from the ground up. And then it's kind of just like rinse and repeat the process, which that right there is a perfect segue to the next topic. And that is whether or not this remaster or this big collection will include a game that is remade from the ground up. Like, should we expect a remake coming? Which I'll just say this initially, like, I don't expect to get a remake for any of these games. Like, I think that a remaster makes the most sense. And by that, I mean just a fresh coat of paint, you know, upgrading the textures, boost the performance, and get the game running as best as possible on the current hardware. Now, as much as I love the fact that we're getting a remaster, a remake would be pretty cool as well. However, that also has some cause for concern that I'll get into in a bit. But like, this is their 20th anniversary. A remake of the original game would be such a slam dunk for a lot of people, as long as it is a faithful remake. Like, look at what Bluebird team did with Silent Hill 2. Like, that game is the prime example of a remake being done correctly, and I think that God of War could do the same thing. Stay true to the original game that started it all, and that means, yes, some of the stuff that doesn't really fit modern standards. I'm talking about the mini game on the boat. Yeah, like just keep it in the game. Let's be honest, guys. Like this is God of War. This is Kratos. We know how he is. The dude is the dude. So you either kind of have to like accept what you developed back in the day or just don't do any remakes at all. Like if you're going to try to cash in on what you did before, at least stay true to that original game. Like, does it fit modern audiences? Probably not, but come on now. It's not our fault. Like we're not the ones who developed it. Y'all the freaky ones. We're the ones who just play the game. Now that same argument could be used for a remaster as well. I think regardless of what you do, remake, remaster, the conversations will happen regardless. So I really think the devs have to kind of approach the remaster with caution as well as a possible remake as well. Like regardless of which way they go, they're gonna make some people mad. That's kind of why you have to approach it with the mentality that it is a faithful remake to the original. Now on top of that, the main people that are going to be first in line to buy the God of War Remaster collection are fans of the Greek Saga games. Like these are the fans you're selling to, the ones on PS5 that don't want to have to cloud stream the original games, or the fans on PC that don't feel like downloading an emulator to play the originals. That's kind of your target demographic, and you kind of have to make sure that those people are happy. And then you could start to cater toward the new fans of God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok that never played the originals, that want to experience how epic they were all those years ago. This brings us to a Twitter thread that I want to talk about from Cory Barlog. It seems like he's kind of going through it over there while he's developing his new sci-fi game, so hopefully that's going well. Well, Cory tweeted out an image that was a screenshot of a song that he was listening to called Lullaby Remastered, and this of course sent the replies into a frenzy. People were like, remastered? Does this mean the God of War Remastered is happening? The thread kind of popped off. Cory then quote tweeted it and said, sorry, this was insomnia and depression motivated thing, not some kind of thinly veiled God of War Remastered reference. So then there was somebody that responded in the thread and said, is there a remaster, Spartan General? Are you confirming the rumor? To which Cory responded, no, I'm confirming I can't sleep and I'm depressed. The rumors are rumors, man. Now, as I said from the start of the video, obviously these are just rumors. We don't know definitively, but this isn't the first time Cory Barlog and the team over at Santa Monica Studios has misdirected us. Now, it could be that he's just trying to downplay the rumors to kind of just keep the excitement there for whenever it gets announced. It's hard saying, but I still truly believe that we're going to get a remaster of some kind of the original God of War games so that they could bring them to PC. Like I said from the start, PlayStation has kind of been in a PC frenzy lately. Like they just recently announced Spider-Man 2 on PC, and that's also being developed by Nix's software. They've been kind of popping off lately. Like Nix's has been doing a lot of good work, so it totally makes sense. And I believe that a God of War Remastered collection is happening. Now, it could be that some of the rumors from Lunatic Ignis might not be fully correct. Like we might not get the PSP games or Ascension coming, but like 1 through 3 remaster, like that's pretty believable. Like when I saw that they would be bringing back the PSP games and Ascension, I was like, that's a lot of work, especially if every single game is a remaster, like potentially on the same launcher as well. They just bundle it all up and sell it for $70. Like that would be pretty cool. I would buy it at least. Now let's say a God of War Remastered collection is happening. When is this thing going to get announced and revealed? Well, if Lunatic Ignis is correct, then I would say that our best bet for a reveal is in December of this year. The Game Awards is taking place in December, so that would be a pretty good event for them to announce a big remaster collection, with the release date being March 2025. Like that makes the most sense to me, seeing as that would be the month of the 20th anniversary, which I guess they could do it on the anniversary date, which would be March 22nd, 2025. It also could be that they just reveal this thing in March of 2025 and then they announce it for later on in the year. Or we could get it hot dropped. Like imagine March 22nd comes around and then we just get a hot drop of the collection, which this would be the least likely scenario. They would probably announce it before just for marketing reasons, but there's definitely not going to be a long build up between the announcement and the release date. They're just not going to do that. But what I do hope is if these rumors are true, the remaster is a love letter to the longtime fans of the series and also provide an opportunity for new players to experience the original story that shaped the God of War franchise into one of the most iconic series in gaming history. Like if you have not experienced the original God of War games, I need you to do your best to try to experience them as soon as possible. They really are incredible games. But yeah, guys, that's gonna wrap it up with this video. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Are you excited for a God of War Remastered collection? Are you a little bit nervous? What would you like to see from a remake if we end up getting one from the ground up? Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel with your notifications turned on so you're not missing out on any future gaming news. And until next time, this has been Wes, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.